Hey everybody, how's it going? I wanted to make another little intro for this video. I really wanted to get it posted. I'm going through and I'm posting a lot of videos that I've done over the last 3 or 4 months. I know I've been away from the channel, but I get a lot of requests. This video, I screwed up on a couple parts I was recording and didn't actually have it recording. So I kind of wanted to explain myself. Basically, what I'm showing you, I'll try to make this short, but I'm showing you, and I get a lot of calls for it. Shops call me, they put a used PCM in a, doesn't matter if it's a '02, '09, Corollas, Camrys, in a Toyota. They'll grab their scanner, they'll do a VIN right, car still don't run. Or even some of the public calls me out and, they obviously assume you could just buy a used computer, plug it in, and the car's going to run. And that's not the case. And on these Toyotas, I kind of showed you in this video how to do a VIN right procedure. Even though the autel says it failed, it'll still write the VIN, but you're going to notice the car still won't start. So if you don't have a locksmith ID and you don't have access to PIN codes, or you don't want to spend the money getting a PIN code, I showed you in the video, the part that got cut off, you can actually just jump 2 wires on the DLC connector, which starts a 30-minute timer. You want to wait a little bit longer than 30 minutes, but basically you're going to jump 2 pins. Now, one thing I wanted to just specify is this works for most Toyotas. Some of the newer ones, you don't have to do the timer. Just doing a VIN right on a used PCM and the car will start. I've had some luck with that, but if it doesn't, Immobilizer has no codes, and the PCM is still throwing an Immobilizer code. It's because the Immobilizer isn't actually matched to the PCM, even though the VIN is correct. So if you're at home, your car won't start. You put a used PCM in, you don't have to change the VIN. You can just do the 30-minute timer with the little jumper I'm showing you. But in the long run, for emissions and stuff like that, you want to get the VIN corrected eventually. But if you're in a bind, you need the car started, just follow this little procedure. Before I get to the video I recorded when I was on the scene, I'm going to just show you a quick drawing of the DLC connector. And also what I was saying is check whether to Google search or through your dealer for the pin jumper, because some of the hybrids, it's pin 5 you jump with number 13, and some of the newer ones, but the majority are pin 4 and pin 13. So I'm going to show you this drawing real quick, and then I'll show you the video I made when I was out doing it. Okay, well, obviously I'm no artist, but this is just a quick drawing I made to kind of explain in the video. This is a data link connector underneath your dash, where you would plug in your, some people call it the OBD2, whatever you want to call it. If you notice, it's wider on the top than it is on the bottom, and then the top left hand, as you're looking at it, is pin number 1. So you're going to go across to pin number 4, and then the second row starts off with pin 9, and then you're going to move over, count it to pin 13, fourth one, fourth one from the left, or fifth one, and then you're going to just put a jumper wire in. I already have the ignition key on. When you get to this point, turn your ignition key on, put the jumper wire in between 4 and 13. All the lights on your dash will start to flash, and then do your 30-minute timer like the video showed you. So I'll get to what I recorded when I was there, the quick how-to, and go ahead and watch that. But I just wanted to clarify the parts that were missing. So I screwed up on this video, but I really did want to post it. Just because I do it a lot, and I know there's a lot of people that get stuck. Even shops, they'll put, the used PCM, and they'll call me, hey, I did the VIN right, but it still don't run, and this is why. So here comes the rest of the video, and again, thanks for watching. Hey everybody, how's it going? Quick little video here today on location, using an autel. We're just gonna do a VIN rewrite on a Toyota. Customer of mine here put a used PCM TCM in 09 Corolla, and it doesn't start now. So pretty simple procedure. Just go into Toyotas, and then you can go into the PCM special functions, and then we're going to go to VIN number. This is used to read and write the VIN number, input the VIN. So what we're going to do here is VIN write. Let you know that it's going to erase the DTCs, and we have the old VIN number, and then I have the original one right here. So we're just going to hit next. It's going to wipe out the VIN. And this works on most Toyotas. So I'm going to go ahead and put the original VIN for the car that I have here on my computer. Forgive me, I'm trying to do this with one hand, so I hope you can see. Okay, so I had a couple of numbers backwards, but there is one thing I wanted to show you on these Toyotas that I found. It's a little quirk in the software, is it always will tell you that it failed, but if you hit escape, go back, VIN read, that's correct. So it actually writes the VIN, but for some reason on these Toyotas it'll tell you that it failed. But now we look at the original VIN, we look at the new VIN, and sorry about that, my phone actually died. So we went through that and we wrote the VIN on this Toyota. So once you write the VIN and correct that, you're going to notice that the car still isn't going to start. So we have a little one more step we got to do, and what we're going to do is we're going to get to the DLC connector. Let me see if I have enough power here to video this down below, and let me pause it and turn on the light. Okay, now make sure the orientation of your the DLC connector is the same with the wide part on the top, because sometimes they're mounted upside down. With the widest portion on the top, pin 1 is on the top left corner, so we're going to put a jumper between pin 4 and 13. So count the top row 4, and then the bottom row you're going to count across 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And once you put that jumper in, you're going to notice all the lights on the dash will start to flash. I'll show you that in a second, and then we're just going to wait it out. 30-minute timer. I usually wait an extra 5 minutes, 35 minutes, and what that's going to do is that's going to rejoin the actual immobilizer, not programming keys, but it's going to pretty much called a handshake between the used PCM, TCM, and the immobilizer unit, because if you notice, you're still going to have codes for current codes for the immobilizer, but if you go into the immobilizer, there'll be no code. So basically, you either I can, being a locksmith, you can get the pin code, or you can do it this way, and I'm obviously trying to show everybody to be able to do this by themselves without having to have a locksmith license and get a pin code. So we're going to let this wait out the timer, and then we're going to get the car to start. And again, if you properly jump the right connector during your 30-minute timer, you're going to see all the lights on the dash flickering on and off, which is completely normal. So so far we've written the VIN, so we know it's correct for any kind of emissions issues. It will tell you that the VIN failed. It's even a common problem if you're using TechStream with an aftermarket interface. So write the VIN, even if it failed, read it, make sure it's correct, and we're going to jump those 2 pins, 4 and 13. Now we're going to wait it out for 30 minutes, and the car will start. Okay, so after the 30 minutes, we just yank out our jumper wire, turn the key off, 5 seconds, turn it back on, light should be back to normal, and your car should now run. So I also just wanted to point out that this is kind of a 2-step process, but you don't necessarily have to change the VIN. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer at home, PCM went out on your Camry, Corolla, you can get by with just jumping the pin 4 and pin 13, wait the 30 minutes, and it'll run. But in the long run, you might have problems with the VIN number not matching the car. Basically, all it does is it pairs the immobilizer to the used PCM, and it kind of has a timer. So you can do it without changing the VIN. But if you have an autel or any newer scanner, you should be able to change the VIN. Or, you know, if you have access to the pin code, you don't have to wait the 30 minutes. But I just kind of wanted to show you that it's not too bad of a process. to get a used PCM up and running in a Toyota. Other than a scanner for the VIN, you don't really need any special tools other than a piece of wire and a little bit of your time. So thanks for watching the video, and if you have any questions, just comment below. Thank you.